as you guys are ready.
I'm pretty sure you do have group invisibility, right?
Yes.
Good. Otherwise, I volunteered you to say no. Sorry.
Right, so the invisible party in the invisible carriage is teleporting inside the carriage with the carriage to the inner part of the fucking mansion. Is that correct?
Wait, are we teleporting the carriage as well?
No, he's going to take the carriage because he's got his own way of going in.
Sorry, that was
Wait.
the wrong one.
Wait. I thought that to mean to mean that he could make his own way without the carriage inside, but he's making his way
Well,
with
he
the
can
carriage.
make it without, but he can use teleport as well, so...
I have to exert
so
a
we-
5th level spell slot to turn all 5 of us invisible. I mean, all 4 of us.
Fine, got loads of those.
I have 2.
Yeah, loads.
Okay.
I mean, what other 5th level spells do you require?
LSD and stop, hammer time, / in the name of love.
Sounds about right. Anyway, so yeah, the invisible carriage and the invisible people are teleported into the inner parts of the mansion.
Which is not invisible.
Which is not invisible.
Very
As
important
far as you know.
distinction.
Maybe this is just a decoy mansion and the real one's invisible. Who knows?
Adam,
I'm Adam.
for some reason I have immolation and flesh to stone
You
listed
are.
among my spells. That is your arrow, isn't it?
Those are my arrows, yes.
Right.
It's the same arrow.
Yes, I know. I mean, it was just like, why the fuck do I have these? It's like, oh, right.
Right, Vendrick.
Oh yeah, Vendrick is a thing. Anyway,
right, Vendrick
you
is-
guys
exists.
are on the outskirts of the Brunstein mansion. And the chimeras, the dozen of them, are still sleeping around the courtyard.
Wait, were they sleeping the last time we were here?
Yep.
Yes.
What did we do to piss them off?
We walked within a certain distance. While they're
Yep.
sleeping, 2 of the heads are still awake. Or at least 1. And they seem to be able to sense
Right.
anyone, even invisible, within a certain radius.
Yep. I think
Which
you
is why
actually
they need to
managed
be
to measure
disabled.
it that their range is about 120 feet.
Yep, we measured it through vigorous testing.
With mouses.
So, Vendrick's going to stand on top of the cart and try altering their link. Want me to roll
Okay.
Arcana?
Yep, roll me Arcana. Not bad. You managed to immediately disturb the link. However, since they're currently sleeping and not aggroed yet, you see that Wallace next to you is just thinking about, maybe we should go with the sleep after all. Come on, there's probably something more interesting inside anyway. These things aren't worth our time anyway. Do you want to get the smell of that disgusting being all over you?
Besides, Vendrick, we can always keep the aggression part as a backup plan. No?
Fine, wait. And I'd like to run it as a continuous loop. Well, we know they have excellent eyesight. Allow me to. And suddenly, over in the distance, is a super strong smell of steak. Because the other ones won't wake up no matter what.
Yep. The
Check.
two that immediately wake up start growling and charging through the courtyard together, not taking notice of the fact that the other ones are not responding at all.
Forward, blunts. Vendrick gestures to the cart, whoever is driving.
And 2 giant chimeras begin thrashing about the place looking for intruders. They're not exactly being, well, subtle as you can imagine. They're raising a lot of noise, by the way.
Alyssia turns to the others. Is it just me, or does it seem to be a little too easy?
Of course it's easy, Wallace says. Who in their right mind would come here doing this? The only people that can come into this pocket dimension without, well, raising suspicion are high-ranking vampires. And no vampire in their right mind would come to free this bitch.
Alyssia
Yes,
does
by
not
the way,
correct
he is
him.
a vampire as well.
Yes, like I said, Alyssia does not bother to correct him, because no, he is not sane if he's here.
You get the feeling that if you called him out on that, he'd say it's like calling the kettle black, man. I don't know. Alright
In we
then.
go.
I guess we decided to take the boring approach anyway. Let's do this. And he follows you, Vendrick.
Oh, one of
Inside-
you park the car off to the side. Like a good chauffeur. Then Bedrick wanders in.
Inside the mansion, you see that there are some humans shuffling about. Something seems off about them. The next moment, you notice that they seem to be, well, sensing magic around them, though they have not spotted you or reacted to you yet. And as they're keenly aware that something in their surrounding is not right, they begin to shapeshift to disgusting forms, clearly showing that their human disguise was just a facade. You see, well, dozens, if not hundreds of parts, human beings, skulls, feet, body parts, all sorts of things around them, scream and echo. This seems to be some kind of ooze or something like that. You've actually never seen anything like that, Vendrick.
Oh, in which case, I'm not even going to bother saying the boring way or the fun way.
I'm just gonna
study.
assume that they're not demons and therefore I've not encountered them in my books.
This is absolutely a demon. Though,
Oh.
no, you have not encountered it. Though, there are some similar things in your book, so if you roll me well enough, maybe I can give you some information.
The fuck do I roll? Like, usually I ask, like, are they in the book? And if yes, then
Roll
I
me an
remember.
Arcana roll.
Okay then.
What demonology is under.
Wow. Yeah, but usually-
There are
usually
some
I just rely on
subspecies
keen
of
mind.
oozes that become sentient and intelligent and evolve to more efficiently trap their prey. That's why you see a quote-unquote human vessel.
Wait, what?
But that's about it, really.
Wait, back up a second. Like, so what? Like, they trap a human, suck out the innards, and then like inhabit the human or something?
Yes,
They
in a
can
way.
take their memories and form. So, you know, say one devoured you, suddenly.
Oh,
it
shame on
could
you,
just-
Adam. If you,
Ah.
you're speaking like somebody that's read the manual for this monster.
Check.
I mean, that's literally, you just described it doing that.
Oh no.
I feel like you added some words there.
Wait, so Experta,
Yes.
any mentions of like the weaknesses of oozes?
Well, usually fire would work pretty good against them, that's for sure. If you're using normal physical attacks, you're gonna do absolutely nothing, as you can imagine.
Right.
Anyway, you blunts can do what you want. Vendrick has now got something to study. And is no longer shouldering the mission.
Vendrick's like, okay, no plan, I'm staying here, fuck off.
I mean, I was only here to test out a new spell, and oh, what's this? I've not seen this before. Notebook comes out.
Alyssia
Looks
turns
like
to
Vendrick decided to bail on the party. What are the rest of you gonna do?
Alyssia turns to the rest of the party, and since we apparently have massed telepathy, she decides to speak to them through her mind. So, anyone able to detect anything going on in this mansion other than these things?
Let me check. By the way,
Roll
Yana's
perception if you
sticking
want.
with Vendrick. She's also kind of curious.
Yana is slowly turning into Vendrick.
Yana doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
Apart from, well, the magic being protected with barriers and all sorts of magical traps, the only thing that you can really sense that stands out is deeper in the basement of the mansion, where most of the magic is being concentrated. That's probably, shall we say, the holding cell. By the
I
looks of it.
translate this to everybody.
Gotcha. However, on the way, there are quite a few magic traps. They seem to be focused around that area.
Right. But nothing more that is alive?
Well, if you can call this alive, then no.
Seems pretty straightforward then. Which is odd. I keep expecting there's going to be some kind of trap. Other than the obvious ones.
Right. Somebody roll me stealth if you guys are gonna try to pass these things undetected, by the way, for the party.
Go, Alyssia.
I assume I'm going to be the one in that case, since my stealth is definitely high.
This is your time, Alyssia. This is your moment.
Wow. Holy
You
shit.
guys are gonna have no problems. As you make it towards the basement of the mansion, however, the magic traps are coming up. How are you guys gonna deal with those?
Give me a second. I have something for this because I am best support cleric.
Anti-magic field, no.
Best support cleric strikes
Begone,
again.
Thought!
No.
What
What
Alyssia wants?
Alyssia wants.
Oh, that's so accurate, I can't even... so good.
I mean, actually, like, if these traps are like level 3 or lower, I can dispel them with a bow, technically.
Well, they're a bit higher level, but yeah, don't worry about it. For the benefit of the doubt, considering you guys are going in quite stealthily, let's say everything works out great thanks to best support cleric who goes Fought Begone.
This is why divine magic is excellent against mages.
Because Begone
Yes.
thought.
Begone, Thought!
Right, as you guys continue down into the damp and dark holes down into the basement, eventually you come across a very thick, that's with double C, very thick door. Massive in size and seems to be extremely sturdy and magically enhanced. There seems to be some kind of text that none of you can read inscribed on the wall, and there seems to be a small pedestal underneath the writing. Wallace starts trying to read that shit, obviously, because
I'm
it's
just gonna-
not like there's anything else around.
I'm just gonna assume it's not written in either demonic or goblin.
Nope.
Right.
I'm not gonna bother writing off the list of languages I know, and I'm just gonna start trying to decipher it instead.
I
thought we were
have
staying
a
upstairs.
thing for this.
Oh,
Oh,
once we're done.
Begone,
Of course you do.
Thought!
Kick.
wow. Why is that become fought for?
Is begone, not
every
being able to
challenge.
acknowledge things!
Yeah, every challenge is a thought that needs to be gone.
God damn it.
But yeah, Lucretia can read it perfectly fine now.
Right. You and Wallace take your time because it seems to be pretty ancient and pretty, well, messy. But the rough translation is basically a record of crimes, deaths, and hundreds of reasons why what's sealed inside should stay there forever.
Alright, so
And
as I'm
at
reading
the very
this...
bottom, sorry, what?
Oh, never mind, you continue.
And at the very bottom, there is a rough translation left by the person that managed to seal this door that says, sacrifice the worldly possession that means most to you,
I'm just gonna...
which more roughly can be translated into abandon your world to enter mine.
Lucretia is going to translate this as it's like 1,000 reasons we shouldn't let her out, and then instructions on how to let her out.
Wait, what?
That's what the words say.
The words tell us how to let her
Wait.
out?
You
It
have
lists-
to abandon what you possess most.
So either the person who sealed this had a guilty conscience and decided to leave instructions in case someone did want to let her out, or this is a giant trap. Pick one or the other.
Wallace just laughs. You guys don't get it?
I bet it's a vampire thing.
Only vampires and lycans can come here. You guys are an exception because of the tournament, and it's a very rare one. So, what's the most efficient way to stop a vampire or a lycan? Think about it. abandon your world to enter mine. It says to abandon what's most precious to you. For vampires, that's blood. For Lycans, that's their humanity. If we abandon those, then you're pretty much dead. So it pretty much is impossible to enter the door. The words at the bottom are not instructions how to break the seal. It's so people would give up. That's so retarded. Whoever did this is a moron.
Oh. And why is that?
He looks towards you guys. Because you're not vampires or werewolves.
No. So what? For us
You
it's
don't
just...
have to die to come in.
So what? For us it's just some material possession that happens to have a high value for us.
Yep, as long as it means a lot to you, sacrifice it and you can enter. Seems simple enough. I mean, what? You seem like the twitchy type that likes to take lives. What's important to you anyway? It's not like you've got anything to lose, right?
I'm not doing it. Lucretia steps back.
Alyssia actually starts racking her mind, like, wait, what?
I didn't bring anything.
I'm not giving up any of my stuff to free a demon.
I don't want to kill her yet. Sorry, I didn't say that. I just want like the perfect thing to add.
But yeah, no way I'm
Both
getting inside there. I'm not
material
fucking giving
possession.
my
I
life
don't
for
wanna
this
kill her
shit.
yet.
So some of you are gonna have to do something.
Wait, only one of us has to give up something, not all of us?
What's the point of all of us going in there? One should be good enough.
Oh.
So
Then we should probably pick the best person to go in there, and then they decide what they're giving up.
Lucretia.
That's not how
Absolutely
it's going to work, I'm quite certain. I think it's not so much as decide what you give up, you have to give up something that actually means something.
Yana.
Yeah, I mean, it says it pretty
No.
clear. Abandon your world to enter mine. It's gotta mean a lot to you.
There's only one thing Yana can
Well-
think of, and she's not giving that up.
I don't have anything on me.
I mean, out of character, like on a metaphysical standpoint, the thing Alyssia hates to give up is control. I guess.
Place
I have no
yourself
idea
on
how
the
the fuck-
pedestal, let's see what happens.
Like I have no idea how the fuck that translates.
It
into
doesn't
this shit.
have to be
Also,
a physical
Iris.
item, guys.
Yeah, they're giving up their humanity and blood. It doesn't have to be a physical item. Like with Yana,
Right.
what she's not refusing to give up is not a physical item.
You know how I know you're my kind of sociopath, Sibby?
What?
Your most valuable thing is one of my two most valuable things.
God damn it. Well, I mean, I assume the other one is knowledge and power.
The other one is knowledge. Not even power, just knowledge.
Gonna go retarded just so you can gain more knowledge. Isn't that like the inverse of what you want?
Now, for me, it would be like giving up a book. Just unthinkable.
And yes, I would actually believe it.
Like, I'm not going to give up one of my notebooks. What if I don't remember what I wrote down on it? That's knowledge lost forever.
I mean, the only other thing Alyssia values is weapons, so pretty much.
Place down
You
a
can
sword
try.
or
I
something.
guess she technically values Gordon.
You just go, this is the first knife I stabbed Gordon with.
Well, joke's on you, she's never actually managed to stab Gordon.
She's tried, though. She's
jokes
tried
on
so
you,
many
you actually
times.
did only with words.
Oh,
Pulls out her
I'm not-
tongue. This is the first knife I stabbed Gordon with.
this
Wait, what? Oh god.
I'm not like your wife and daughter.
Jesus.
Pales considerably. Why are you so mean to that man?
She's not trying to be mean, she's just, you know.
You're very cruel.
He's just
To
a
that man.
sociopath.
She doesn't understand that she's mean to him.
It's okay, Alyssia. Your knives, they're just invisible and they hurt in places that are not the flesh.
Pretty much.
Scars.
You have that spell too?
Scars of
I mean,
the flesh
Alyssia
heal,
was
but
created
scars
to
of
be
the
a
heart
perfect
never
human
do.
weapon, I guess, sort of, ish.
You see that Lols is starting to tap his foot, getting a little impatient. Come on, guys, what's the holdup? I mean, you're humans, right?
Actually-
What the hell do you value?
A lot of things.
Alyssia is like, just to try it out, well, not try it out, but like, just to see if like the pedestal will accept it.
Throws Iris in there.
No. Like
You
she
don't
pulls out
value
something
Iris
she's
enough.
taking from the corpse of one of her kills, which happens to be a
I'm
pair of
assuming
kukris.
doesn't exactly mean much to you.
Oh no, it's a pair of kukris. It does mean something,
She fucking
as in
hates
it's
that
a
woman.
weapon. And
As
she
you
did
place
hate the
it on
fucking
the
bitch.
altar, absolutely nothing happens.
Alyssia says like, yes, I
Lois looks
figured.
towards you. Seriously? You put a knife? A knife?
Alyssia turns to him. What do you want from me?
Come on! You've gotta have something!
Alyssia
Anything?
shoves the cookies back into her, well, the sheaths, whatever. Pulls out a rope from her backpack and holds it out to Wallace. Mind giving me a hand tying my hands?
He looks confused and says,
Just
I mean,
do it. Humor me, please.
just shrugs. You're the freak! And he starts tying you up BDSM style or something, I don't know.
Great. After he's like finished tying my hands tightly, I'll put my tied hands or arms or whatever on the pedestal.
Are you giving up your freedom?
Pretty much.
Oh boy. You see that there's an immediate reaction and everything begins to glow in a bloody shred as weird symbols begin to inscribe all over the pedestal. Alyssia, you feel like you lost something very important to you. You are no longer capable of making assertive decisions for your own. You are extremely timid and you need somebody to always control you. Otherwise, you have panic attacks. You straight up cannot deal with the situation. It's too stressful for you. You have lost your, I always say, quote-unquote freedom.
Works in Vendrick.
And as you do, with a creak, the door that hasn't been open in God knows how long suddenly begins to shift, to move. Dust flies off everywhere. As you guys have opened the door, and inside you see a massive room illuminated by unnatural sunlight, or what you would more understand if I describe it as straight up UV rays. Basically, they're trying to mimic sunlight. You see that in the
Daylight,
center,
by any chance?
well, technically there's no sunlight, so
Okay, because there is straight up a spell that makes a little star that shines out UV rays. It's specifically an
there is,
anti-vampire
but
thing.
if that was being used, it wouldn't work because, like I said, the room is heavily magically enchanted, and that's to actually to prevent magic. Give me a sec. That's basically to prevent magic from being cast in any sort of way. Since, well, this is a prison for a being that knows how to cast powerful magic. They were taking no precautions when they were sealing this girl. As for what she looks like right now in the middle of the room, bathed in the, well, UV lights, she is basically chained up. And from what you can tell, her body is fully stiff and unmoving. She is actually covered in cobwebs and a lot of dust.
Alyssia turns to Iris. Now what?
If you remember, she did lose her freedom and she's very insecure about stuff right now.
Well, no one knows that, presumably.
Well, go in
Well,
then.
they kind of probably guessed a little bit.
Oh, Vendor just gave me an instruction, so Alyssia goes inside the room.
The room is unnaturally cold, by the way.
What do I see anything inside the room except for the girl and 1 billion chains?
That's about it. The room is basically in the center are the chains where she's being held up, the UV lights, and there's a lot of heavy magic rituals sprawled all over the place to prevent magic from being cast.
Alyssia walks deeper and deeper into the room.
Nothing happens. It's not that big of a room actually. If you don't count the area that's being used to restrain her, the room is actually not that big.
Well, Alyssia is gonna keep walking towards the woman unless something stops her.
Nothing's going to stop you as you walk up straight next to her. As you can imagine, she's not moving, she's not conscious, she's not breathing. Nothing. She's just a stiff corpse.
Alyssia turns around and looks back towards the party outside room with a raised eyebrow.
Get her out.
Oh yeah, by the way, are my hands still tied?
Well, I don't believe anybody untied you.
So yes, they are.
What was who doesn't
Well,
actually
still.
know you that well looks towards the rest of the party and says, "The hell's wrong with her?"
I don't know. Maybe she's resisting the urge to kill her.
Actually,
No, it's something different than that. Lucretia is gonna narrow her eyes.
Adam, you did tell Alyssia to free her, right?
Yeah, I said go on and get her out then.
Yeah, right. So Alyssia is going to, with both hands, get one of her daggers out of her belt, put it in her hands. Well, no, not put it in her hands. Put it in, between her teeth. Put the handle between her teeth, and then cut one of her palms. And then squeeze try to get the blood inside the mouth of the chained up girl or woman.
It's a little
Wait.
finicky, considering for some reason you're doing this with your hands tied and she's kind of, bound in every conceivable way. But eventually a few droplets of your blood manage to make it inside her mouth. A few seconds pass without nothing really happening, and then you start to feel like her body is starting to loosen up a little bit and her complexion is slowly returning. She doesn't seem to be conscious or aware yet, but suddenly the entire area around you is trembling as the chains are starting to get, well, broken one by one. Tension is starting to crack them. You see that nuts and bolts are flying left and right, and all you hear is snapping as one by one the chains that are keeping her down and the magical circles are beginning to burst and break. Even with just the few drops of blood that you gave her, you see that she is starting to come around. The chains continue to break and break and break, and after maybe what seems to be a minute or two, suddenly there's a loud crash as everything around you comes undone, and from the sheer, impact of it, you're blown off a good 10 or 15 feet away, Alyssia, barely keeping to your legs without tripping forward. When everything settles down, the prisoner, under her own power, brushes and dusts herself off, fixes up her dress, and stands up in front of you guys. She smiles gently and says, "Thank you."
Wow, no one said anything. Also, Alyssia is just quietly, slowly getting up in the corner.
Alyssia,
then
as you're
just staying
trying to recover with unnatural grace and speed, she seems like she's walking, but by the time you blink, this woman is straight in your face. She picks you up with one hand, helping you back up, and undoes the binds on your hand. And as she does, she brushes her hand over your cheek, and your sense of control returns. Almost like a magic was dispelled from you.
Alyssia stares at her for a few seconds, blinking in slight confusion.
If anyone asks, we accidentally undid the lock when we were fighting this guy.
No, if anyone asks, he undid the lock.
Oh, that
Right,
too.
and we...
He
I don't
points
know
towards
what you're trying to
himself. I did a what now? Excuse me? I'm a vampire.
Yes, he's a very bad guy. Remember that.
She's like, are you guys fucking for real?
Vampire.
Think I'm not going to leave some evidence of what you No. I'd suggest you do get going soon, though. To prepare the carriage, at least.
That's true.
Oh, and, the little bit of this, little bit of that. And Vendrick begins making a human that he then turns to stone and shatters onto the floor.
Check.
There we go. Life itself. What a bad man.
Also, Alyssia suddenly snaps back from it, sort of to her usual chipper self, and just looks at the vampire standing in front of her. Well, that was disconcerting.
He smiles at you gently and gives you a light hug. I can't believe that you would give up your own freedom, the thing that you value among all other things, so readily, just to free a stranger like me. You must have great expectations.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.